Good afternoon and welcome to Unfiltered Gupshup. I'm so happy that you agreed to have this interview in a short span of time. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Aditi. This has been wonderful. I just met you the other day, and we are here talking about this interview, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with you.
Yeah.
I looked up your Facebook and Spotify, and you are such an amazing artist. I'm really looking forward to this interview.
Thank you very much for praising me, and I'm happy. All of the audience, I want to say that what your company does and what you do. So I wanted to introduce about Mr. Sukesh Pai today, who is the guest for the Unfiltered Gupshup. He works with the individual investors and families with careers primarily in the technology industry. Having started his career in the technology industry, he understands the needs and the aspirations of engineers, scientists, and software developers. He implements evidence-based strategies and systemizes the investment process to mitigate the impact of behavioral bias in the decision making. So thank you once again for welcome to Unfiltered Gupshup. So I wanted to ask you, I wanted to know that if you were not doing this, what you had done in your life?
Yeah, that's such a very good question to start from, right? So currently what I do is I'm a wealth manager, and I help individuals and clients manage their investments and look at their financial life. So my goal all along has been, how can I be independent and I can pursue whatever I want to do at any point in time? And so when I started my career, I started in technology because I've been an engineer, and I worked in the software industry. But that is not all I wanted to do, right? So I wanted to be free and explore, learn more things. And I wanted to be not only independent in terms of what I can pursue, but in order to achieve that independence, I had to be financially independent.
Yes.
And so first I applied that on myself. How do I become financially independent?
Awesome.
Right?
God.
And once I became financially independent, the journey sort of took me along understanding and learning more about finances. I worked in the finance industry for about 10 years before I started this firm, where I could go out and help others be financially independent.
Awesome. Yeah, I was while you were talking, I was thinking of the numbers, which is I'm clueless. But what are the things that you enjoy the most in your role as a wealth manager?
Yeah. So being a wealth manager, I've been doing this for 6 years now. And I'm very quantitative oriented. I'm looking at all the different numbers, trying to come up with, what is the best way to do this, or what's the best way to do that? How do you make most amount of your money with the existing money that you have?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, whatever ideas and suggestions that I give to my clients, whatever recommendations that I make, that those recommendations make a significant difference in their lives. And when I see that smile in their face, and when I see that they are starting to implement that by themselves and seeing the impact of that, that is what makes my life fulfilling. And it's been, this career itself has been much more fulfilling than any of my past careers were in the software industry.
That's awesome. What are some of the things you offer clients, most of the clients you appreciate about your firm, so that they can come to you, reach out to you? What is the difference you make from other firms?
Yeah. So given how I came along to do this, I have clients who are very young families who may have young children going to school. They have to think about how to put the kids through college, how to save for their college education, how to save for their own retirement. So I have those young families. I also have families or older adults, seniors who have already retired, and then are leading that retired life. And the kind of things that you want to think about financially are very, very different. So when I'm helping clients, I'm looking at what situation are they in their lives, and how do they need to set up their financial life, as in where to invest, how to save money, how to grow that money, or if they are in retirement, how to best use their money so that they are not sweating about it, and at the same time they can be carefree about their finances and start enjoying life.
Great. So what what do you do as a part of the comprehensive financial planning? What you suggest? Like you said, you suggest a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah.
So what kind of path you take through?
Yeah. So in terms of the comprehensive financial planning, I'm looking at all the different things that are financially impacting a family, right? So I'm not looking at one person. I'm looking at the entire family and their needs. So how does money come into the family? You know, who are the people who are working? They might be employed at a certain organization. There might be certain employee benefits they get. So I look at the employee benefits. I look at the cash flows, that is the income, the taxes that they might pay, expenses that they have to have a reasonable livelihood, and also look forward in terms of what are their goals in their lives, right? Not everybody has the same set of goals, right? So we have met clients. Some of them, they want to start their own business, right? And having immigrated from India, for example, right, and starting a career here, you're tied with H-1B visa issues and those kinds of things,
Yeah.
right? So it is not easy for you to let go of your job and do whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
right? You have to think about it, plan about it, and do it. And in India, you have support structures, like you can rely on your family,
Yes.
extended family
Yes.
for your finances. Here you are independent, you're by yourself, and then you have to save enough money before you can start anything, right? So I help those people who have different goals and putting together a plan so that they can go achieve their dreams. I've had clients who wanted to build a wildlife sanctuary when they
Oh.
retire,
Oh.
and we figured out how they can put from their assets, save taxes and also contribute to charity at the same time, and be able to have a fulfilling life creating that charity.
That's awesome. So, what do you think that most of the families or most of the people should have financial advisor in their life, like family doctor?
Right. So, I reflect upon that, right? So I have, as I said, people from all walks of life, people from different ethnicities, right? But when I look at my client base, mostly they are predominantly Indians who have immigrated, just like myself, right? So the situation that they are in is slightly different from the situation that an average American would be in, right? And I also reflect upon, our culture, right?
Yes.
So we are good savers and we work very hard, right? And so from that standpoint, I feel like there is a lot that a financial planner or a wealth manager like me can bring in, because sometimes you get it to old age and then you have a regret, and the regret is not that I didn't save enough money or I don't have enough money. The regret is on the opposite side, which is I did not enjoy my life as much as I could have.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's a bad regret to have when you're saving enough, you have enough, and you have built enough, but you could have let a little bit go and enjoy the life while you are young, right? And so that is where I can help them see the full picture forward in their life so that they can relax a little bit and go forward. More and more, that is what I see in my clients, not the fact that they have not saved enough or there's going to be regret because they don't have enough money and now I have to live in a very tight budget. So that is the reason why I think I can help my clients.
Okay. So can you share some success stories, like how you did some with the interesting clients? Can you share some success stories about them?
Yeah, so some of the things that I shared is I've had clients where they could quit their job and start a business, right? And it was essentially showing them how much money that they need to save for their retirement, and as long as they had reasonably good 401k or IRA that they have saved, and we create financial plans where we look at 90 years, until you are 90 years, how much money do you need to live by, right? And because of that, what I can tell is that how much money do you need in the next 5 years? Can you quit your job, not have salary, and still can you continue with your savings, right? And when we put that plan together and show it, it becomes much more obvious for clients to make that move, saying that, okay, it seems like I'm okay. If it goes beyond 5 years, maybe I have to go find a job. But at least for that 5 years, I can take some risk and do whatever it is that I want to do, right? And so I have helped a few number of clients be able to do that, right? Take that leap. Then I've also had clients who were apprehensive of starting their retirement, right? So, for example, if I was not helping them, they might have continued working until they were 67, 70,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they are always afraid the money that I've saved is not enough. But with my help, they were able to see that they have saved enough where, they don't need so much in retirement, that they can have a reasonably good life. And maybe they can retire early, right? And then maybe they can retire at 60, right? Or 65, whatever, right? So depending on, the assets that they have in balance, and also how we can invest that in a very non-aggressive way, right? So we don't have to be taking too much risk in the financial markets to be able to get there, right? And that is one of the things that I do, is look at the risk and try to minimize the risk. And with that minimal risk, how can we achieve reasonable returns to meet your goals, right? So then they feel that, okay, now I feel like I'm ready to retire and then go enjoy my life.
That's awesome. But like, what age you understood that you want to go this way only?
Yeah. So so when I started my career, I worked in the software industry for about 10 years. And then, I was looking around, what does life mean to you, right? And there's no ultimate end to what life is, right? You have to create your own purpose, right? And most of the people, they don't have an opportunity where they can define their own purpose, right? We are lucky that we are here, we have so much resources that we can get to define our own purpose. And when we can do that, we want to be able to do that, right? And so I've been motivated in this direction from very early, from my college days,
Okay.
right? And so was the opportunity for me, and I did my own calculation saying that what age can I say that I can be financially free and start doing this, right? So that is how it took me in this direction, where if I can do it for myself, can I do it for others?
That's awesome. So how do you see that your firm will be at after 5 years and 10 years? What is where your firm will be reaching? What goals are you having?
Yeah. So one great thing that I'm seeing is in the US, the Indian population has crossed about 1%. And that's fairly significant. And the Indians who are in the US, those are my target clients. They are very industrious, like I said. Not only that, they are very affluent, right? So if you look at the top wealthy ethnicity, it's probably Indians right now, right? So I'm very fortunate to be here and be able to serve them, right? So I want to give them a one-stop shop where all their financial needs are met. So most of these clients have assets in the US. They have assets in India, right? And so I want to be able to help them with all their assets, no matter what geography they are in. So I have relationships with chartered accountants in India, investment managers in India, different kinds of CPA firms here, estate planning attorneys here, so that I want to give all that services through one place, so that they don't have to go elsewhere, and we can see everything and optimize it for them.
That's awesome. So nowadays we are always hearing about AI. So
Yeah.
how AI is connected to business?
That's a very good question. We are always looking for introducing AI in the things that we do. And it's interesting that you brought that up. Me being a software engineer, I'm always looking at introducing software into my practice, right? So I'm not just using Excel and giving you things. All the systems that we have built, we have built using Python. Wherever we use AI, we have tried to use AI. And it is streamlining our processes. So we are able to come back to a client with answers fairly quickly, because our processes are more and more efficient. So that is where AI has helped us the most. So just to give you a very concrete example, when I started maybe a couple of years back, I started 6 years back, but one of the things that I started recently was to do a market update, so economic update on how is the economy looking, and give a position about that on a monthly basis. And that process would take me, collecting all the data, analyzing it, creating graphs, and then writing it up, and then presenting a very short video on LinkedIn. That would take me like maybe 2 days to a week. And right now it takes me a few hours, right? Because there is AI that goes and scours all the website, gets all the graphs copied for me, and then all I have to do is that list through it and then put my commentary in there, and then whatever commentary I put, I can ask ChatGPT to correct my grammar, and then there you go, right? In 2 hours I have the LinkedIn video ready. So that is some simple way in which we have used AI.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what advice would you give the upcoming generation who wants to go through your path?
I think I reflect upon that, saying if some younger person were to start in this journey, what would it take them? So one of the things that I see is a lot of folks in my cohort, age group, they are in technology, and technology is sort of very unregulated. So it's very easy to, start a startup or come up with a business idea and try to form it, right? But in the financial industry, it's a very highly regulated industry, and there are rules and regulations that you need to follow, licenses that you need to get, and probably, from a business model perspective, there is not much differentiation, right? So I think you can only flourish in this industry if you are a very good communicator and you have deep relationships, right? So I think I value that a lot more than what I would have valued 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So I think that is probably one of the important skills that you can bring to bear to be successful in this industry.
So at the end of this interview, I wanted to ask you one more question, that are you involved in the community services around us?
Absolutely. So when I started this practice, I was active in the HSNC Tahertz group, where we had a Medicare committee, and as a part of the Medicare committee, I was the chair, and we were trying to figure out how to help retiring seniors avail all the different medical insurances. And there's a volunteer organization that the state has and North Carolina has called SHIIP. And as a part of that, you can get certified. And then once you're certified, you can actually give the advice in terms of plan selection, healthcare plan selection for seniors. I helped in that process, and there were some health fairs that we did as a part of that, and it was very good to see that there are a lot of us, Indian folks who are trying to avail Medicare. One of the gaps that I saw is Medicaid. So I think we could do a lot more in terms of information and education in terms of how needy folks can get Medicaid at various stages of their life. So I saw that as a big gap, but there's not much we could do at that time, but I'm sure that we can do more there. So in addition to this Tahertz group, I'm also a part of Thai Carolinas, where there's a program called Thai Young Entrepreneurs, and I've done mentorship and educational training for that program. And finally, I also want to thank the Financial Planning Association, where when I started as a software engineer, I don't know anything about finances, and they are the ones who kind of helped me identify and understand what is involved in building a business. And so I'm very grateful to them. I joined their board, and I was their president in 2022. And last year we did the symposium, and I was the symposium chair. And so I'm very grateful for that organization as well.
Yeah, great. And what about you? Would you like to suggest, or you can say like, invest in the cryptocurrencies or something? I always hear about it. So
yeah,
what is it?
so I take a very reserved look at cryptocurrency. It could be a part of your overall portfolio, and as young folks start investing, they sort of focus on it because there's a lot of media coverage on it. But you want to look at it very holistically. For some of my clients, it's a part of their portfolio, so I do recommend, depending on your situation. I'm not going to recommend anything here as you invest in this or that. That would be absolute wrong thing to do. But cryptocurrency has a place in your portfolio, and it is based on conversation with you and your goals. We can identify how much of that can fit in your portfolio.
Yeah, Great. And we are almost at the end of our talk show, and I want to thank you for agreeing for this interview, and I want to thank our media person about ITDF. So thank you, sir. And we are here for the unfiltered gupshup, and I'm very, very happy that Mr. Sukesh Pai agreed for this interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aditi.
Thanks.